We're gonna be talking about one specific guy. Now this guy, man, I don't even know, bro. This guy was weird. This guy, he was something, bro. But right here, um, so we meet him on a app. Um, it's an Omegle app. Um, he has where in the States. Um, Decoy says her age right here. It won't be shown, but Decoy does say her age, and then it goes on the app uh, session. I haven't used session maybe once, but it goes on the app session. He gives his session, uh, and then basically starts talking. Appreciate the sub. Uh, the green is the decoy. The gray is Venice is his name. I think it's about, or I'll get through it later. But he says, "I'm glad we connected. It's better here, I guess." Uh, he asks, "Do you learn well?" So he already knows the age. He says, "Have you ever had a man teach you that way?" And he calls her a little girl. That's like what he tells her. He says, "You're answering more slowly than you were there." So he's one of those. Decoy photos. Uh, Says she's in school. He says, "If I'm going to teach you to be a good little girl for me, then it requires 110% of your energy and attention." So an extra 10%. I ask, "Can I see you?" And then this is where you low-key just, he says that way, he says the way that will happen when it happens first is when we will see each other on video at the same time. Is this understood, little girl? Decoy says, "Why can't I have a picture?" "Sorry, little girl is upset, but you don't have a reason to be. I recognize what you said, and I've provided you with a way of seeing me." Once that he speaks on something, it doesn't change. You have to learn to deal with the fact that I'm in charge here. Oh, brother. Yeah, we never got a photo. This dude didn't. We tried getting on Snap to like do a call. I have no idea how session works, to be honest. But we tried going on Snapchat, and that never happened. Um, he says, so he's in Belize. He was in Belize, um, which is near, where's it at? To do map. Belize is near. Is that Belize? Belize City? I don't think it's Belize City. It's Belize. It's right there. It's by so you got Cuba, you got uh Guatemala. Yeah, there it is. It's near Guatemala and there and stuff. So you got Mexico, and then you got Mexico City, and then you got Belize. So he was in there. He said he was gonna be in Houston. Uh, Actually yesterday. Today's the 13th. Today's filming this. Today's the 13th. He said he was gonna be in Houston yesterday, I think, or said he would be in Houston, yesterday. But I don't know if that's true. He ended up blocking. And then he said he lives in Georgia, so yeah, that's that. He has been reported. Um, so we'll see what happens. But he's asking if she's a beach girl. He said he was saying it's criminal to not have one. He says, when is little girl home so we can have a focused, dedicated education session? Uh, this dude would not say his age. I don't know why, but he would not say his age. He said, I'm old enough to be your daddy. And that's all he gave. He's like, and then he's like, I tried asking him again, or a couple times. He's like, uh, you to repeat yourself is what he was saying. You need to stop repeating yourself. Take a moment and think. Asked and answered. Now it's time to move on. Yes. I was, if you can see that I was kind of being a little bit sassy, you know, a little bit kind of, I want to say pushy, but yeah, I was getting a little irritated, not gonna lie. You make it right by following my instructions. Uh, how does it feel to, how does it make you feel to be forced by me now? He never sent a photo, but we did get a description of him. At least he gave me that. I gotta find it. Uh, she's talking about like city and stuff, where she, um, can you focus 110% of your energy on your lessons? Will you focus? Thanks for, see right here. Thanks for the little video you sent. I said thanks for nothing that you sent. he didn't, he didn't really get like, he didn't really get mad at me for like talking back or whatever. Maybe a little bit. He wasn't like, oh, you're being sarcastic. I was being, that's the word. I was being sarcastic. Like, be like that then. Girl can, he's like, girl can see daddy anytime she needs to, right? And then I said, so can I see a picture of you now? And I said, you have to learn to not repeat yourself. It's annoying. If I told you how you will see me and call, it's like, it's kind of not that hard to send a photo. Okay. Um, so no more questioning what has already been established. Whatever, I guess I can't ask questions anymore. You can ask all the questions you want. You can ask all kinds of questions you want. Clearly not ones of your age and what you look like. What you cannot do is be disrespectful. I never once was being disrespectful. He says, why don't you have a bikini? Here we go. So he's 5'9", blue eyes, blonde, about 180 fit. So that's that. Sometimes I don't think you understand that one of your main goals is to be a good little girl for me and for pleasing me. You don't know that if you're going to learn to be a good little girl for me, you must learn to give attention, please, and serve, and probably from deep inside. Have I not explained this to you? He hasn't really explained it. Girl just hasn't been paying attention. You need to learn to attention, little girl. So you can't spell. I don't know how old he is. I really don't. Appreciate the sub. Uh, is that why you're talking, or is it because you actually need? So this dude texted me first. He reached out first. He was like, "So you don't want me?" I was like, "I mean, you texted first." Once again, I say the age right there. What do you do for work? I asked if you want to work. Yeah, he was talking about working. I was like, it's like I'm too young to work. And he's a financial analyst, whatever that is. Let's just say from now on, you ask permission before you ask a question. So now we gotta ask permission. This dude was like, he was so demanding. Like, and I know he was asking for more photos. What was he asking? I was asking for like he was asking for photos, and he wanted like a certain photo. I was like, no, no, you're not. You're. I was like, no, I'm not sending one since you didn't send any. And he got all pressed. And then right here, he started asking like, is this little girl wearing something pretty today? I was like, no, just regular stuff. And this was like second. It was like third day of talking to this guy. So I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna say regular stuff. I'm like, I'm not even gonna get descriptive. No, I was texting like other guys too, so I was like, I'm just gonna say regular stuff and text other guys. He's like, I think I told little girl already. If you give daddy an answer like regular stuff, it doesn't really tell me anything, does it? Technically, it does. Regular clothes isn't like what people wear normally. If you actually have a brain, and when somebody says regular stuff, I mean, it's like normal clothes, a shirt, pants, you know. If you're ever gonna learn to be a good little girl for me, you're gonna have to learn to give me meaningful answers to all I ask you. Your education works at at least at the start through Q&A. So if daddy isn't getting high quality answers from little girl, then the whole thing just collapses. And he starts getting mad. He's like, "What? But still not much. What does the hoodie look like? Like, why you want to know that? You like describe the shirt better." And then he wanted like I described like the shirt. I described the pants, hoodie, uh, shoes, socks. But there was two things that he wanted in particular, and I told him no, I'm not gonna talk about that because that's my, privacy. And he's like, you saying like you're all mine or something. Yeah, right here. There's two more things that you have on, and I was playing dumb. I knew what he was like referring to. See right there. I'll blur it, but you know, he starts talking crazy and stuff. He's like, yeah, he just starts saying crazy stuff. I can't even say it, bro. You need daddy to take charge of all of you. Yeah, that's about it. And he starts, and then there was like a time I told him like it was like the fourth day of talking to him. I told him like at 9 I was gonna like because the plan was to get his Snapchat, uh, but he wasn't. He never gave me it, and I ended up just ignoring him for the night. And then I said, "Sorry, my mom made me go to sleep." No, she didn't. You just ditched me. It's very simple. And by the way, the whole Snap thing never really made a lot of sense. It's not though. Somehow Snap is better or more secure than this is. I was like, whatever. She made me go sleep. And then he was saying, you read my messages as soon as I wrote them. Actually, I did not. I did not read any. I seen them. I didn't. I seen briefly of them because he turned on five for his messages. He turned on after 5 minutes of reading them and actually opening them. That's what this thing is for. The little clock things. He turned on at, like 5 minutes after reading to like disappear the messages. So these, so I screenshot it as I go. I never opened up his message. I opened up the app. I didn't open up the message. So I don't know what he's talking about. And he starts saying, "What about what's inside? I guess that's personal too. You think that means I don't intend to own it?" This dude needs to be stopped. You need daddy desperately. And yeah, that's basically that guy. So he has been reported. Um, Dennis, bro. Dennis, bro, you're cooked. The messages are out there, bro. Your time is coming, bro. Coming very, very soon. But yeah, that's all I have for this guy.